Hello chess fans, this is Chess to Impress with another impressive position from the history of the game. This is a nice composition. This is, well, I call it the king climbs the ladder problem. It is a composition where white has to make a draw. As you can see, white has two rooks, black has a rook and two pawns, so white is material up, but if you look at those two pawns, they're both ready to become a queen. They're only one square away from promotion. And especially the rook, the pawn on a2 looks very dangerous. Of course, the rook on c2 can be taken, but then black plays a2, a1, queen with check, and black wins. So taking the pawn on c2 is not a solution, and there's no other way to stop the pawns. So white has to look for another way to make a draw. If you look at the position of the king, then what springs to mind is that we can look for a perpetual check. Because if we can give a perpetual check, the game is a draw. So let's try that. The first way, let's look at the first way to do it is rook h2 check, which is not a solution, and I'll show you why. King g8 only move, and here is the king walking the first ladder, but once he reached d8, white is in trouble. There the rook on c7 is hanging, and there are no more checks. So on the next move, black can promote and win the game. So let's look at the other way to give checks. Not starting with rook h2 check, but with rook c8 check. And that's where the magic starts. The king can only climb the ladder. Of course, if he goes back, then white goes back as well, and then it's just a repetition of moves, and that's also a draw. So he has to keep going. And once he reaches h3, we think, well, we have the same problem as we just saw, because now the rook on g2 is hanging, and there's no way to give more checks without losing the rook. But there is, and here comes the first miracle move. Rook c3 check anyway, because if black now takes the rook on g2, then rook c2 check, and on the next move white will be able to take the pawn on a2 and has achieved a draw position. So in this position black cannot take the rook on g2. So it looks like white has achieved its target of perpetual check. It looks like black has to go back to h4 with the king. But no, here comes another attempt, another magical move from black in this case. Rook d3, interposing the rook, giving away his rook. What on earth could be the idea behind this move? Well, if we take the piece, if we take the rook, then king takes g2, and now white is in trouble. Rook d2 check, king f3, and you can take one pawn but not the other. Black will promote, and queen against rook is a winning position for black, although it still requires some technique. Okay, good try from black. We cannot take that rook that he put on prise. So what can we do with white? Well, we have another ladder to come. White can play the magical move rook h2 check. And why? Because if now black takes the rook, there's another problem. Rook takes c2 check, and again on the next move the a pawn will fall with a draw position. So black cannot take. So we go with another ladder. The only way to go is g3, and we walk the ladder again till the king arrives at d4. What about this one? Is there finally no more way to give checks for white? Well, there is. Because now white can play rook c4 check. Magical move again. Because if the king takes the rook, we have this move, and again the pawn will fall. So the only way is up. Let's climb the ladder again. And white keeps following the black king on the c-file. And when we reach the top of the board, the end of the ladder, there is no way back. Well, there is a way back. The only way back is to d7, and then there will be rook c7 check again, and we have the same position. So a repetition of moves, and finally white has got the draw. Quite complicated, but also quite beautiful and quite funny, I must say, with all these ladder climbing kings and rook checks and rook sacrifices. A very nice composition. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel so I can notify you, so you will get notified when I post my next video. This is Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.